Hey y'all, and welcome to PolitiBrawl. My name is Brian, and Harriet, Hageman, and Chip Roy tag team against Eric Swalwell, and oh boy, it's not going to end well for him. Let's dive in.
My Republican colleagues do not trust women. That's what this is entirely about. The only people in America who are asking for this legislation to be repealed are terrorists. People who would choose to show up and terrorize women as they make a very personal, intimate decision that nobody else should be a part of. You don't trust women. That's what it comes down to. It's not lost on me that on the other side of this debate, it's mostly old men, wealthy, who are partaking in it. I don't see any women on their side. But they sure want to tell women what to do with their bodies. It's an obsession, a sick obsession. You have no business being a part of that decision, and it's a shame that you're going to stand with the terrorists who want to go and try and influence it. We should be doing more to protect women as they make this decision, not taking away barriers. And we have more men on their side coming to join this debate, still no women. Trust women, my friends. Trust women. They will get it right. And I yield back.
Gentlelady from Wyoming is recognized.
Yes, I understand that Mr. Swalwell was waiting for me to come in and speak on this bill so that he could
I don't know who you are,
so that he could
go ahead.
decide how to vote.
Who are you?
And
I
so
don't know who you are.
I will explain
belongs to the gentlelady from Wyoming.
what my position is. The FACE Act, very simply, has been weaponized against the pro-life community and ignored when real terrorism is carried out. It has become just one more tool in the anti-life, anti-humanist, anti-American toolkit based on forgiving the unforgivable and criminalizing our reverence for life. It has been broken, and the Democrats, the radical leftists, prosecutors and judges and bureaucrats are the ones who broke it. We now recognize that while the original intent of this law may have been good, the implementation, especially under the Biden administration, has been ugly and unconstitutional. And it has now been turned into a cudgel to destroy the pro-life community. As a result, it's time for it to go, and I support the FACE Act. And with that, I yield the remainder of my time to Mr. Roy.
Appreciate my friend from Wyoming, and I certainly know who she is. She's a fantastic lady and fantastic representative from the great state of Wyoming. And she is one of the many women members of Congress who are co-sponsors of this legislation and women who have written in support of this legislation, because there are many people in this country who believe this legislation is critically important so that you can end the abuse of the existing federal statute to be used politically to target American citizens for political purposes, as was evidenced repeatedly over and over and over again under the previous administration. The fact is, when we're talking about that difference of application, if you look at the data since the enactment of the FACE Act since 1994, if you look at the uptick in attacks on churches, for example, an 800% increase in violence against churches. Since 2018, an average of 39 attacks every month. There have been 96 violent attacks on pregnancy resource centers since the Dobbs opinion was leaked in May of 2022, as the chairman of the committee observed in some data that he put forward. The fact of the matter is, it was politicized.
There's a difference between the class clown and the class comedian. The class clown goes out and does something that's either really dumb and causes everyone to laugh, or does something really stupid and causes everyone to laugh. The class comedian convinces the class clown to do it. So somewhere in the background, somewhere, somehow, some comedian convinced Eric Swalwell to go out and say this swill in front of the rest of Congress. Trust women. Eric Swalwell is probably the last person you want to trust around women. Not only are there a whole bunch of allegations going on about his marital infidelity, This dude has bragged about sleeping with a Chinese communist spy while serving in Congress. Yeah, but you're trusting women. I don't think it passes the smell test. And then the reality is, this dude has nothing to offer but empty words, ridiculous catchphrases, and something that even the Me Too movement probably would be embarrassed to say on camera. And yet, someone in the Congress, someone up there in the rafters, someone in the audience has convinced Eric Swalwell to go out and say this on live camera. You can't be serious. Hey, y'all, here's the deal. Gold loves President Trump. Under Trump's first term, the price of gold soared 53%, and the price of silver jumped 51%. Since the start of the second term, gold has skyrocketed even higher, breaking records and even outperforming stocks. Here's what I like about precious metals like gold and silver. They have been used as a store of value for centuries. Governments can't easily manipulate it. They are used as hedges against market risk and, of course, against inflation. That's why I partnered with the amazing people over at Goldco. Goldco is an award-winning precious metals company. They are fans of this show, and they have helped millions of Americans just like y'all to purchase over $3 billion in gold and silver. Right now, you can get a free copy of their 2025 gold and silver kit. On top of that, you might also qualify for their amazing unlimited silver bonus offer. So don't wait on this. Go to PolitiBrawlGold.com to learn more. That's PolitiBrawlGold.com or call 855-644-GOLD. And then Harriet Hageman walks in and he immediately denies the fact that this woman exists. He knows who Harriet Hageman is. Harriet Hageman not only took the place of Liz Cheney, but kicked the Cheney dynasty in the teeth, told it to kick rocks and probably eat some rocks along the way, and basically ended a political dynasty. I'm sorry, I think Harriet Hageman probably is well known in your Washington, D.C. circles, Swalwell. Yeah, so to go out there and say that, oh, Republicans don't trust women, and then to say that, hey, I have no idea who this woman isn't just disingenuous, it's ridiculous. Who in their right minds is buying this swill? All right, someone out there thinks that he's saying something intelligent, and we need to study their brains for the sake of science and for the sake of the future of humanity. This is absolutely insane, and it gets even funnier because Chip Roy then takes the rest of the time from Harriet Hageman after she defers it off to him and basically reads off the numbers. The whole debate around what they're talking about here is about repealing the FACE Act, which essentially protected abortion clinics as federally protected areas. And yeah, it's been a very misused bill with the heart in the right place because it got written and passed right after there was a major attack on an abortion clinic. And as much as I hate abortion, as much as I want to preserve the basic fundamental right to life, if you don't have the right to life, you don't have the right to pursue happiness, you don't have the right to property, and you certainly don't have liberty. But that's getting in the weeds on a different issue. We're talking about repealing something that is easily taken aside and then used against people who are voicing their opinions to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't, unalive a child in the womb. So yeah, I think this law does need to have a repeal at some point. It has been misused constantly. Chip Roy gives out the numbers here. And that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats at this point. As I have said on this channel multiple times, Republicans understand logistics. All right? That's why I love Mark Wayne Mullen so much. The dude is a senator, but he's also been a small business owner. He's also a dude who could fight in the ring in an MMA match, and I am not going to spar with that man. Even though I'm sporting a Theodore Roosevelt shirt, I know my limits. But Eric Swalwell doesn't. He does not understand what he's actually doing. He doesn't understand that his words actually have weight, and he doesn't understand that, hey, when it comes to trusting women, this dude trusts a Chinese communist spy. The very people in Congress have jokingly on the floor referred to this and referred to the spy as Fang Fang on numerous occasions. So yeah, Eric Swalwell is not the guy to be making this argument. So why is he even there in Congress to begin with? Well, for one, California voters have just lost their minds. It's sad because they still have a ton of Republicans in that state, but they're outnumbered 2-1. And so they'll never be able to get anything off the ground again. And the Arnold Schwarzenegger experiment really didn't work. But the California voter thinks that this is a truly masculine man. The Democrat Party has lost the message. They have lost a whole lot of men because they have been spewing anti-masculine rhetoric for the past decade or so. And it's been longer than that, but we're starting to see it in Hollywood, even though it's been in the weeds in Hollywood for a while, but now you can't deny it. It's in Hollywood, it's in our schools, we hear it on their podcasts, we see it on their videos. When Democrats talk about men, it's often with this angry veneer. And Eric Swalwell is the closest thing to masculine that they can possibly imagine. The other is Tim Walz. They do not understand what they've done. They don't understand what the rhetoric has gotten to. They do not understand that masculinity should be based around guys like, I don't know, Theodore Roosevelt here, and not Eric Swalwell. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on PolitiBrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one.